Hello, I'm Ken. I work here in Cambridge on the Addenbrooke's campus. One day a week I work as a doctor in a specialist clinic for children with disorders of growth and hormones. The rest of the time I'm Professor of Pediatric Epidemiology, which means I study research-related questions on children's obesity, nutrition and genetic factors. I've been coming to Holy Trinity with my wife and children for about 2 years, and I've been a Christian for 25 years, since my mid-20s. My story of coming to faith starts at school. There, everyone had to attend the school chapel 6 days a week, including early on Sunday mornings. And unfortunately, that had the opposite than intended effects on me. So on leaving school, I vowed never to enter a church again, something that I held to throughout my 3 years here in Cambridge as an undergraduate. After that, I moved to London to study at medical school, and there an old friend from school suggested that I attend a church nearby. He'd become a Christian in Durham and was also in London at the time. What struck me about that church was that there were hundreds of people there, including students and graduates, who all appeared as though they actually wanted to be there. I'm pleased to say, much like the services at Holy Trinity, but quite the opposite to my experience in school. It made me think there must be something real in this message, but it took me another 5 years to find out. I was in my early 20s and I'd found a purpose and at least medium-term career aims. I guess I felt I was in the driving seat and I didn't want God to take over the steering wheel. 5 years on from that, I was still doing well, at least on paper. I'd quickly passed all my professional exams and I was getting all the best job placements, but I ran out of steam. I'd sacrificed a lot relationally because of the long hours, moving from one city to another. Junior doctors' contracts then lasted only 6 to 12 months. And it felt like I was working my way up the career ladder simply because the ladder was there. Also, I had no mental framework to help process my experiences of seeing severe illness and death in children and even in infants and babies. Then, one day, out of the blue, I was on a ward in Oxford and I received a phone call offering me a great job in London that I hadn't even applied for. And soon after that, I found myself working at Great Ormond Street Hospital and living in a flat right above the hospital and only a mile down the road from the church that I'd been to before. There is a wonderful Christian song which describes the overwhelming, never-ending love of God, which chases me down and fights till I'm found. And that song perfectly describes my experience of God's grace. Today, just as I quickly found out then, that grace, which was earned on the cross by God's Son, Jesus Christ, provides my motivation, my guidance, my comfort in both my research and my clinical work, and indeed much more widely than that, in everything I do.